Hey everyone, Spirit Particles. I'll forget that. This is D, all wide open. And I'm here to say I'm proud to be gay. Or lesbian, or whatever the hell you want to call it. I wasn't going to talk about this because I didn't think I needed to. I didn't think it was necessary. But then I saw the little rainbow heart up above on YouTube. So I decided maybe I should. But I'm going to turn the camera around because I'm going to be driving. This is way too distracting. Looking at myself. Okay, here's my story. You know, I was always I was always tomboy to the nth degree. I mean, you know, and I always begged my mom for like boy clothes, because I was uncomfortable wearing dresses and girl clothes. And she obliged me most of the time, except on Sunday she made me wear a dress, and I thought Sunday was the most horrible thing on earth. And to this day I still fucking hate churches, but that's beside the point. And I grew up in, you know, a relatively small town in, you know, the 70s and even the 80s. By the time I graduated, you know, being gay just wasn't a thing. I mean, there was some talk, like some whispers about so-and-so maybe being gay, but I don't know, maybe I was just oblivious. But so I just did what everybody else did, try to be like everybody else past for as long as I could. And and every time the subject would come up, I would strongly deny. And I would make sure everybody else knew that so-and-so said this about me, and I deny it. It was pretty ridiculous. But, you know, and as a result of total denial and not understanding myself or wanting to be myself or even liking myself, more like hating myself, I spent a lot of time alone. I also struggled with alcoholism. Some drugs, but not too. I mean, I didn't do a lot of drugs because I just wasn't that. I mean, I just didn't want to spend a lot of money on cocaine. I like cocaine, but I just didn't want to spend all my money on cocaine. I spent all my money on alcohol. But I was serious. I mean, that's not funny because I drank alcoholically for quite some time. I mean, since the first time I had a drink of alcohol, I don't know, I got drunk and I blacked out. And that's how it was every time I drank. Because I just drank until I blacked out, always. Because I was just trying to hide from the world and kill the pain. And it went on like that for quite some time. I had very short relationships, usually. By short, I mean one night things with men. I never had a long-term thing with a man. I just spent the majority of my young adult life alone. And then I had Shelby, which was a surprise, as you can imagine. And that was great. I mean, I totally fell in love, and I had somebody who accepted me. I didn't have to explain anything. And she just accepted me and loved me the way I was, and it was fantastic. But that didn't stop me from drinking either. And it got to a point when she was probably 4, 5. She was spending more time with my grandma than she was with me. Where was I? I just stopped at Toys R Us. Still no hot dog cart. But where was I? Oh, Shelby, yeah. But Shelby was my world, but she wasn't enough to keep me from drinking. Just trying to, kill everything inside. But then I of course turned to one of those people who got drunk and drove. And of course I got caught. So I went to jail overnight. And actually that wasn't the first time I went to jail. And I suddenly had something to lose. Shelby. Because they threatened to take her from me. I really still wasn't getting sober still wasn't in my heart at all, but I did it, and it was fucking hard. Until it wasn't. And then it just became, life without alcohol. Which, it was difficult, but it was also better. Because I was finally getting to know myself, finally starting to accept myself. It took a long time, and it was a process, and I was finally able to say, okay, this is me. This is who I am. Fuck all of you. And life changed. It was still quite some time. I, dabbled around with dating. It was pretty awful. Because, people are weird. Some people are fucking weird. And then jump ahead to July 2012, and that's when I started dating my current partner, my nicer other half, my sig other fig, my life. And last year, after the court said, okay, you guys can do this, we got married. In September, we got married. And it was the first time I was 52 years old, and it was first marriage for me, and it's first marriage for her. She's 50. And I am now the happiest I've ever been in my life. I mean, this is 2012. How long has it been? 4 years? And it's been the happiest 4 years of my life. That's the only way to describe it. And so anybody who, if there's still people out there that think it's wrong, what I say to you, fuck off. Because you don't know shit. You don't know what it's like to spend decades alone. You don't know what it's like to sit in your own seething hate just because of who you are. So if you don't get it, too fucking bad. Because my life is better for it. You know, sometimes I still... There was a period in my life I thought my mom didn't even like me, period. Because just not, she wouldn't say anything directly to me, but she would say it indirectly, you know, because she's a Christian and I'm not. I mean, I explored different religions. I've explored everything, and I've studied and not just explored. I studied and thought and talked about different religions, different, you know, whatever. But and I've come out the other end a non-believer. I'm an atheist. And if you don't like that, fuck off. If you don't understand, if you need somebody some magical thing to believe in to live your life, that's fine. You can do that, but I don't need that. That kind of belief put me through hell. And it almost, you know, because there was a period in my life where I not only drank alcoholically, occasionally did drugs, I also would occasionally harm myself. Because it was how being me then. Thank the universe, I don't have to be that way today. I can accept myself as is. I can be proud to hashtag be proud to be. And whoever don't understand that, fuck y'all. I kind of wonder why nobody ever asked me about the sig other fig thing that I say sometimes in my videos or on live streams, because we talked about this because I really struggled with the word wife, because I think it's really patriarchal and ancient. So we talked about it and we thought it would be really funny to use sig other fig, because, you know, I'm a Lego person and our Lego personas are sig figs. And I think it's funny and Linda thinks it's funny, so and I was really surprised nobody ever said anything about that. So she's either my nicer other half, which she is. She's very much nicer than me. Or my sig other fig. Richard's nicer than me too. I'm taking the scenic route home, if you haven't figured that out. I haven't had a drink of alcohol since October 17th, 1997. And I don't plan on it because it's pointless. There's a point when drinking might start out as fun, but eventually all the fun goes away and it's all about the buzz, getting the drunk on. All the fun goes away. And it's no fun waking up not knowing where you are. It's no fun being picked up off a sidewalk somewhere or out of somebody's front yard. It's no fun losing hours out of a night. Maybe I'll tell some of those stories, or maybe not. Do you want to hear those stories? I spent many years trying to stay sober in AA, but it just got too crazy making for me, just because of all the religion that they try to cram down your throat. They say take what you want and leave the rest, but a lot of people can't leave it, or they can't leave others alone, I should say. I still have people that I depend on though, that are in AA, and if I need to talk to somebody, I call them and talk to them. But I don't. My life used to be. My life went from being consumed by drinking and partying and whatever to being consumed by AA for a long time. I had to do that. I really had to be consumed by it for the first few years because staying sober was horrible. Just trying to figure out how to live your life after you've spent so many years planning around the party. It's really hard to figure out how to... What the hell's going on here? Oh, they're stopping for the turkeys. See the turkeys? There's one over there on that side and some over here. It's really hard to figure out how to live your life without that. It takes a long time to figure out what to do with yourself, or it did for me. And because because of the way I felt about myself, I had a difficult time talking to other people. So, and I thought drinking alcohol helped me loosen up and talk to people, but there was this imaginary line all the time, because by the time I had enough in me to talk to other people, I was pretty much too drunk to talk to other people, because I crossed that imaginary line too quickly, So I guess the lesson there for the younger people that are listening to this, I hope they can understand that alcohol gets you nowhere. If you're drinking to take the pain away, it's only temporary. And worse, because another thing I want to talk about is the suicide rate in the LGBT community is high. It's higher than any other type of community or whatever you want to call it, because they don't see their pain as temporary. You know, it's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Because I've definitely thought about it, but I didn't. I tried to harm myself, but I never went that far, even though I thought about it. Especially in that first horrible time when you're trying to stay sober. Like, that's all you can see is like a gun going to your head because you can't take it. You know. And there's a lot of people, I mean, there's a lot of people in the last almost 19 years that have not made it through that hump. There's an extraordinary number of people that I know that have died due to alcohol or drugs. I mean, I can't even tell you how many. There's so many. It's insane. Look here is the beach again. But there's some kite surfing going on today or tonight. These guys, I don't know, they must because they start at one end of the beach and they end up going down to the other end of the beach, and then sometimes they just have to pull their kites back, which seems like it takes a lot of freaking work to do that. See, they're way down at the other end by the pier. And they start over here where this little house is. What the heck, are they right on the pier? Look at this guy taking a picture of his motorcycle. They're so far down you can't even see them. Oh, check it out. There's some people doing yoga. I hate yoga. I hate it with a passion. And Linda wants me to do yoga, and I said, no freaking way. That every time I do it, I hurt myself. There's one kite down at the center. I don't see the person though. Where is the surfer at? Oh, he's there. He was in the water. Sometimes they jump way up high, but there's not very many waves right now. I mean, the waves are small. I don't know, can you see it? It's kind of far away. Here, let me. Come on over there. It's hard to see him, isn't it? Can I make it bigger? If I did that, my arms would probably fall off. Oh, what's that kid at? Okay, the moral of the story is be yourself and don't drink and don't do drugs and don't hurt yourself. And there I am, warts and all, and that's all I have for now. I'm gonna make it go fast. You guys see all the people standing over there? That's where the shooting was the other night. There's a ginormous memorial. And there's a park where all the kids play. And where we walk the dogs. And they were shooting each other up there. Well, there was only one guy with a gun who shot 3 people because they were having an argument, believe it or not. How fucking stupid is that? I'll show you how close I am. How close it was. But anyway, that's all I have for now. Put a like up there if you like it. If you don't like it, and if you want a thumbs down it, here's a predetermined fuck you. Anyway, if you want to hear some of my crazy stories, well, they're not all that crazy, but actually they're mildly boring stories. If you want to hear some more, just let me know in the comments. Thanks for listening.